which makes them win, and it's great, it's awesome. But would you take a seminar for a guy that only uses 2 moves?
Absolutely.
Or you would like take a seminar from someone that's more complete and that it has that overall knowledge over. What is your take? You guys take on that one?
I'd go with both. Well, hold on. I would go to both seminars. Okay. I put weight in both of those, but I would say as in my background, I would probably lean towards the guy who's great at those 2 moves.
But the issue
is strengths that they play that make them play
maybe it was
game.
bad. It was a good example. The concept is like you're a black belt. Okay, people are gonna follow you. They're gonna like you're the example. You're gonna do as you do. So if you're just like a guy that only do few moves, then everybody that you're learning will only learn few moves because they're gonna focus on that. That's kind of more the point of. It also is about getting the win, focusing on the win, or becoming an overall practitioner. It's more than just winning. It's about, of course, you gotta remember, you gotta really learn the whole thing and not be like, oh, I gotta win, Of course you gotta win, but is it more about?
I wouldn't say the guy who is only doing those 2 moves doesn't understand that there's a lot more. I think that he just has sort of realized that he's so great at those 2 moves that he can constantly use them, even when people are expecting those 2 moves. He will still, he will still be able to use them against those people.
What do you think?
I've heard you heard of the 80-20 rule, right? Whereas pretty much with 20% you might win 80% of your matches.
Yeah.
And then with the other 80% you're gonna win those 20% of the matches.
Okay.
And then I guess this is pretty much goes out, back to I've always been very, in sports, very competitive. I want to make sure I know the basics. Always know the basics. I'm awesome. But the thing is, that's the thing. I know my basics good, so I'm not as good with like these betting bolos. I'm not as good with the worm guard.
Reverse the worm guard. Invert the reverse the worm guard. It's like the
I'm not gonna be good with those, but I'm gonna be good with the basics. Yeah. So once in a while, like even my favorite moves are just, pass, side control. Look for mistakes there, pass again, or full mount, and I go from there, and I look for a submission. For me, a submission is my opponent just made a mistake, and I'm gonna take his arm.
Yeah.
But as far as my game plan goes, I don't expect my opponent to make that mistake, right? And I just, and I know what's gonna happen, But I don't think you need to know this whole encyclopedia of moves to be successful in jiu-jitsu. I don't think it's that important. I mean, even then, if you were to concentrate, let's say, on this crazy, flying armbar move, but you don't know what the basic pass is, which what the basic pass is going to work almost everybody, then I don't think, your jiu-jitsu is going to be, all that good. I mean, personally, even jiu-jitsu and your competition is going to be all that good, period.
Yeah, I've always been a traditionalist in terms of simplification. For instance, you look at a guy who was really successful in wrestling in college, Cael Sanderson. You knew he was going to go for an ankle pick. Every single person who ever went against him knew that they had to avoid an ankle pick. And guess what happened to them? They got ankle picked. No matter what. I know for a fact that dude was aware of every other move in the history of wrestling. No, maybe not for a fact, but you know what I'm saying. He's still gonna go for an ankle pick.
Okay,
it's successful for him.
What about a jiu-jitsu guy that got a wrestling background and only focus on takedowns and just stay on the top, and then he's good. He maybe have some stuff, and then some lower belt guy is able to get on top and he can't get out of there because he don't want to practice being on the bottom.
In sport or in submission only.
Oh, now he's getting it's complicated here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me answer.
The wrestler? Okay.
No, so I don't think that would happen. That wouldn't happen.
Pull guard, he knows wrestling.
That wouldn't happen in a submission.
Bro, pull guard, that guy's a wrestler.
But let me answer this. I was a college wrestler, and I came in, and I knew, I would just literally go from, I would stand up, most of the matches, or most of the practice matches, we stand up, and I would take people down.
Yeah.
I would take people down. Eventually, I got caught in guillotines, by the higher belts.
Right. And
it happened. But me as a competitive person, I started figuring it out. I started learning because of my
signal.
mistakes. No, I started learning because of my mistakes.
Yeah.
I knew that as soon as I would go down, he would go for the head, and then I would kind of just fall, but at the same time, I would take those
Cross-body,
legs.
yeah.
I would take those legs out the way, and I'll be already in side control.
Right.
You know, so I'm already kind of ready. I started just going one move, he'd counter his, and I would counter mine.
Yeah.
You know, but that's on me.
You're reading the opponent.
Yeah, I'm reading. It's like for me, it's a chess game.
That goes to where we're going next, which is learning technique versus understanding the concept. Because some teachers, there are teachers and teachers. Some guy, one just can come and like show you a few moves. There are teachers that just show you a few moves, and other teachers that can actually come in and make you understand the whole concept.
Like the psychology behind.
But going back,
the psychology behind, and also everything already is around.
But thing as a teacher is to show you everything, and you have to get your own style. You're gonna end up making your own style.
As a practitioner, as a student, you have to be aware of everything, because if you're only aware of what you can do, you start to corner your own self. You know, if you're clawing people over, if taking your back, everybody knows you're going for the claw. They're just gonna lay back and keep on your back, right? So you can't allow that.
Like this guy with the judo side control.
Who's that? Me?
You with this side that control.
Yeah.
Controlling the head.
Yeah, all right. I get stuck in there. Yeah, I get stuck in there.
No, you get everybody.
I do.
But that's because he understands that position. It's like understanding the concept of the position. He understands that position. You know, it's like you could. Okay, like I was showing it a while ago. A simple arm drag.
Uh-huh.
You know, everybody, us wrestlers, we know the arm drag from one's position. But then, when I started doing jiu-jitsu, I would do the same type of arm drag. But then it clicked. It's like I could do the arm drag from wherever. Yeah. You know, I could do the arm drag from my butt. I could do the arm drag from my knees. I could do the arm drag from the feet. Absolutely. And then at that point, I actually understood the concept.
Yeah.
I learned the technique, but I understood the concept. You know, and that just changed my game. I was hitting arm drags from everywhere at that point. I was reversing arm drags on me.
Yeah.
You know, and that just blew up my game a little bit. And then every time it's just a little. It's another move, and I just understand. I learn the move, I learn the technique, but then I understand the positioning, the concept behind that move, and I'm able to go ahead and start putting that into the rest of my game, wherever it may be.
So what do you think about from the standpoint of what was I going to say? From knowing concept, right, and having an idea about the psychology of whatever move you're trying to do. You know, whether you want to make the people who you're going against do what you want them to do, whether you lean on them hard because you want them to dive down or etc. Do you feel like when you go against, say, the people in your own gym all the time, does that create a disadvantage of having a fewer people to roll with versus, outside, if you visit other gyms, etc., do you feel like at a disadvantage when you visit other gyms because they don't, have the same sort of psychology that you deal with on a regular basis in terms of your technique versus
understand the concept?
Yeah, your concept versus technique.
Okay, so So as far as when I go to my gym, I train with people of even different sizes, different levels, and then different body types, and that. I learned how they're gonna react, to the same type of move, right? And sometimes it might take me an extra setup, or it might take me an extra fake on this side to go ahead and set up on this side, and that's normal. When I go to different gyms, and I do like these open mats, sometimes I'm invited, they come over, teach us something or help us out with something, and I love doing these open mats. You know why? Because that's just a different perspective of the same move that I like.
Right.
I'm doing these arm drags, and these people are going to give me a different look.
Okay.
Why? Because that instructor is going to teach differently. He's going to teach, his own style, and it's fine. It's not. It might be a better style, it might be a good style, and I want to see it. I want to see how they're going to react, because that's going to make me better. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I actually enjoy going to another gym and learning something. And getting
so there's
different.
no hindrance in consistently training with the gym that you're at all the time.
You mean like a cross training type of thing, like a training
like
different
say you go into a
gyms?
competition and you've been constantly training with the gym where you are. I know you go to a gym that's very high level, but
We should never limit ourselves. I mean, I tend to when I'm really good at techniques and I'm really like just getting everybody with them, I just tell everybody my techniques. Like usually what I do, I show them all, and then they start neutralizing my techniques, and then I have to start using new ones.
Absolutely right. 'Cause you want to
And that's why I'll keep doing it. I'll keep growing because that makes me get out of my comfort zone. So, but to be able to do that, what you have to do, you have to really like pay attention to yourself and understand why things work. Why things works and why they don't work.
I agree. Like sometimes I'll be asking, when I got the pajamas on, I'll go ahead and I'll ask, I'll do a choke, and it's like, I'll get the tap. And the first thing I'll ask, was that a choke, or did it was just was I just
crank
across your your chin or something? Did it work or not?
Right.
And then he tells me no, it was a crank. I say okay, fine. Next time I know I have to adjust something, I have to do a little change.
So you're always going for a choke over a crank. Crank is cheap.
The thing is that I'm going for the choke just to improve
guys
my
might
skill.
not tap the cranks.
I'm going for the choke to improve my skill. If in a match competition wise, whatever gets the job done.
Yeah.
But I want to improve in jiu-jitsu. I actually, the reason I started this was because I fell in love with the competition aspect.
Yeah.
But now later on, I did it for a couple of years, and later on now I appreciate the hobby, the art, what it is, So I want to improve there. But also I'm still competing all the time. So at that point I go to competition mode, which is not going for bending bottles or.
He started playing guard, now we're going for takedowns. Starting from the bottom, now we takedowns here.
But yeah, man, that's all part of the game. We're just improving and learning from other people. And even the white belts, I'm still learning from white. Like I learn
from everybody.
I know if there's a white belt out there, or if I'm going against a white belt, and next thing you know, he did some type of step because I'm trying some crazy move, and I'm like, all right, thank you. You just helped me get better because now I know I can't be doing that move, or that move doesn't work for me, or I gotta switch it up for that move, and that's all.
You learn from another human's instinct.
I'm learning from everybody, whether it's even in my gym or outside the gym. It's always a growing process, evolving process for as far as jiu-jitsu goes.
Guys, that was it for today. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your support. See you next time.
Bro, let's just take it easy today. 50%.
Bro, let's flow roll.
Bro, let's get some acai.